Hello, everybody. Welcome to a third episode of an LPL English podcast. We're still working on the name. Guys, please, this is just a very quick intro to the show. Please harass me in the comments online. I need to get these episodes out on Friday instead of just sitting on it and doing nothing.
Don't roll me in with that. Don't.
No, I know. It's just me. It's just me. And if you want to harass the other guys, you can do that, but on your own time, preferably, again, in DMs. But welcome. We've got Quacks and Jay Beto here on the show. Gentlemen, how are we feeling? And I guess Quacks will go to you first.
I'm feeling good. Just got off my day shift, and I have a show here in a few hours. I think I have everything prepared for that. But happy to be here. Happy to be on the third episode. And with my fellow color caster brethren of the LPL English crew.
Yeah, new color casters uniting. I also just got off, but I had a morning shift. It's 1 p.m. for me right now. So it's a nice day, nice warm.
We're united for our love for League of Legends and the LPL, but we're divided by the biggest ocean ever. It's
pretty
tough
big
out here sometimes, you know. Yeah.
It's snowing in America right now, isn't it? It's real cold.
Oh my God, it's awful here. It's terrible here. Anyone who's based in like the Midwest or East Coast right now, might not even be able to watch this video when it comes out because their power might legitimately have been ganked by ice storm. It's terrible. Yeah. So heart goes out to them.
And really, my heart goes out to the lost trees that we've had. I know
I've seen 2 trees. I haven't seen them in real time explode, but I have seen them. I have seen the aftermath. You know, we could really use some Australian heat right now.
No.
It's nice. I could spare some.
Please.
No. The idea of walking outside and having a tree just go boom is terrifying.
How does that? Am I missing something? How does that happen?
So it is so cold. Quacks, you have the lived experience.
Go ahead. I'm already talking too much.
So it is so cold, and because of the water content of the trees, essentially, the trees are exploding because a tree is a very solid piece. The fibers they go in one way, but because they're expanding and they're inside this the bark, the trees just boom, explode.
Wow.
And there's different kinds of explosions too. One of the ones that I saw had a hole through the middle. Oh, it didn't go all the way through. But then the other one looked like how you peel a banana. You know how the peels are just dangling there? That was the bark. And then the actual wood itself was just relatively intact, but I'm surprised, honestly. I don't think I've ever seen the remnants of an exploding tree.
It gets so hot here that we close schools for a week. Complete opposite.
What the? Jesus Christ.
We closed schools a couple days ago because it was too cold. This is ridiculous, man.
Hell yeah. Well, anyway, crazy. It's good to be here. 2 polar opposites of the weather going on right now, but hey, united by a love of League, like you said, Quacks.
Exactly. And we do have our standings updated for the most recent set of games. So that would have been the 27th, or I guess the 28th now. We just saw a bunch of Group Nirvana games go on, as well as some Group Perseverance. Yesterday night, we saw Ultra Prime, unfortunately, lose a 3-game series to LGD. So that kind of keeps Nirvana in a really cool spot because there's so much parity between everybody that isn't named LNG.
Yeah.
LNG obviously winning. This group could have been way more exciting if OMG just decided to not troll game 1, but here we are. And somehow EDG decide to not be super disappointing in Group Perseverance, and they take a win versus NIP. So I'm kind of looking at these standings, and gentlemen, is there anything that immediately jumps out to you as either surprising? Because I think there's some results here that we were maybe expecting.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it doesn't fit into surprising or unexpected any of those categories, but I will say it is at least. I'll use the word impressive that EDG, after such a horrendous start, are now, technically second in the group. I think a lot of people were just flabbergasted by how their first 2 series went, and everyone was ready to throw themselves on, kind of the Doomer train. Another thing that, I am a little bit surprised by is just generally, like, I know this is gonna probably, get Covey in my DMs, but like I thought OMG looked like good the first couple of times I saw them, and yeah, they look like not good anymore. To put it bluntly, I don't know how else I could put that, but yeah, I mean, I'm surprised by EDG's rebound, and I'm just kind of surprised by how much OMG have slumped so far compared to what I was hoping to be like maybe a second place team going into Nirvana after what I saw from them in Demacia Cup.
I will ask, the plus or minus score, does that affect the actual standings, or is that just a for us thing?
Yes, so the plus and minus is their game differential. So I'll take AL for this instance. They have +4. They are 10-6 in game score. The way that head-to-head or that tiebreakers work in the LPL is that if two teams have won the same number of series, tiebreakers are first decided by game differential, then by head-to-head. So having having tighter series, tighter control of games means that you're gonna naturally just pop out to a lead. So it's probably not going to matter for a team like WE or LNG, but you see Group Ascend, that top 4, more so top 3, is very, very close in terms of game differential. So that could be what ends up deciding some playoff seeds as we go forward. But I don't know. I remember the story meeting that we had beforehand, and we were like, Group Nirvana is way better than Perseverance. It's going to be so much closer because Demacia Cup results are super poggers. And then we end up with a group where for one day or for a couple days there was 3 teams at 1-3.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically just the LNG show, right? I mean, I think kind of going into the season, I assumed that LNG would be like the perennial favorites because I was really impressed by how they were playing. But I'm going to be honest, I thought it would be closer. Like, I thought like some other teams would make them work for it. Again, I think that team was probably going to be OMG, but this team is just breezing past everybody. So that's really exciting. Like, I'm interested to see how they would stack up against like higher echelon competition. Because like this is an exciting team. I think every single member of LNG has like something fun to talk about. And then you reflect that against some like other top teams who have been really fun to narratively draw up, and it just creates an overall better experience in my opinion, and a lot more fun games to witness.
I mean, going back to your question, Alk, I'm pretty surprised at how close Group Ascend is just as a whole. I know that there's the whole joke of like the circle of suck or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Where everyone's kind of lost a game to everyone. But the fact that after everything we've seen, AL is on top after losing to both JDG and BLG is kind of insane. Obviously, they'll play again. They've got more series to play against each other. I think BLG AL is the final match of the regular season, so that's going to be a very important match for the standings. But I was expecting these 3 to be top 3 or at least top 2, and then I'd hoped that JDG would contest, but they're not that far off of each other, you know.
Yeah.
Those big 3 Titans there, and then the bottom 3 also aren't too bad. It's bottom 2 from Ascend go into the play-ins, yeah? So
Correct.
It could still be Weibo, obviously Tess and IG right now, but yeah, I agree. I think LNG looks super good. They've been the conversation the whole start of the year that they probably will be contesting some of the topper end teams, and Group Perseverance is pretty all over the place. WE are in the lead, but it's very close throughout, other than TT.
I'm surprised that WE are this good because they look terrible at Demacia Cup, and even some of their games,
for all the wrong reasons too.
Yeah, like they went in, and I was very much expecting that they might actually finish the first round robin 3-0, 6-0, because they were undefeated in their first 2 series, 2-0 versus EDG, Thunder Talk 2-0. NIP finally beat them and hand their first series loss as well as game loss. So the WE team has really started to kind of tighten that up. Like Yao Yao is playing really well. Yeah, I'm really excited, even if maybe Monkey is not the same hero that we were expecting him at the start of the season. But
that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, was like WE are winning and they're doing it very nicely. Like I think their wins are very convincing, but like it's not really from Monkey, like it was the same way in 2025, where like a lot of people just called it like Monkey in 4 words. Like I actually think that Monkey might be like the legitimately like, I don't want to say weakest performing member on WE, but I do
that's
think
Cube.
that he's right. It's Cube, but I do think he better hope that Cube like doesn't get discovered for like match fixing or something and then gets instantly removed.
Oh, come on,
then
man.
he might
Oh.
then he might take that title depending on
Too
who moves
soon?
to replace Cube. I don't know if it's something like One Young, maybe he takes that, but I don't know.
Damn.
I'm very surprised by where WE's firepower is coming from though, because it's very different from what we saw last year.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to watch LNG play against the group Perseverance teams. I genuinely feel like that's going to be some really interesting matches, like LNG versus this WE versus EDG. There could be some really good bangers there. It is a little unfortunate that we will have to wait to play-ins to see that, but the good news is that we're basically guaranteed that. I don't think LNG can not be. Can they be bottom 2?
No.
with this
So
score?
as we see in the highlighted, they're color coded. WE and LNG are guaranteed to be playing in the upper bracket of the plains. And actually, let's just get straight into it. We can just go ahead. I have this little thing. So if we were to freeze the standings right now, so WE and EDG is the top 2 of Perseverance, NIP and TT as the bottom 2, and then LNG and LGD would be 1 and 2 from Nirvana. This is what our play-ins bracket would look like, with Top Esports and IG at 5th and 6th. This is currently the play-ins bracket immediately. And most importantly, if you make it into the main stage of playoffs, you are in Group Ascend for Split 2. It is top 8 from the previous split that qualifies you. We've talked a lot of big game around LNG not needing or maybe qualifying themselves as a not Group Nirvana team. They should be moved up to Group Ascend. We're going to be getting rid of Group Perseverance in Split 2.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is our format, but going back to the bracket, I think it is super cool that we get multiple best of 5s for our Group Perseverance and Nirvana teams.
Yeah.
Jack, do you want to jump in here?
Yeah, I'm actually going to ask a question. Like, I feel like genuinely some really good upsets could happen here. I could see a WE beating an IG with some of the ways they've been performing. IG is very like rookie or bust in their games. I know that that's a stretch, but I think it's insane that if you're in the upper bracket, the top 2 matches, if you win one, you're in Group Ascend, right? There's no other extra round.
Exactly. Yeah.
So all WE would have to do, or EDG, although I think that's a bit tougher of an ask, but all WE here would have to do is beat IG in, a pretty hard series, and then they're in Group Ascend for the second split. That would be some crazy stuff. LNG are gonna, this is most likely what we're gonna see, or guaranteed what we're gonna see actually. LNG TT, that match, probably gonna be a bit rough to watch for Thunder Talk, but I
It'll
think
be
that
quick.
everyone, everyone
you-
kind of expects LNG to make it through. That would be quite nice as well. I would really like to see this LNG team against Group Ascend teams, but I think, something like a WE against an IG, that would be really crazy.
I actually feel like we can maybe I'm reaching too far here, but I think that the upset potential of IGWE could, depending on how we see EDG like close it out, I guess we could see EDG maybe not. I wouldn't favor them to win, but I do think they could make the series close. I have been really low on top for the entire split. Like I think that they aren't a great team right now, and I think that there are like rumors going around that they might be looking for some roster changes at some point in the near future. And like as it stands, like I hate when teams do that, especially after one split. Like we've only been playing the game for like 3 weeks. But like I think that EDG, the bounce back has shown me that they are still competitive, and I don't feel like Top Esports are a super competitive team compared to the rest of Ascend, right? Like, I think when we're looking at the bottom of Ascend, Top are, like, they very clearly have a ceiling, and I think that EDG could maybe reach to challenge them in that one. But I'm in the same boat. Like, this Thunder Talk versus LNG series, dude, it's gonna be. Oh man.
If it's not a 3-0, I'm really like, even if LNG qualify for the playoffs.
Dude, what do you mean? Ryan is gonna gap
smoked.
1xN, and we're gonna be like in for the shock of our life.
All right, I just want to give a little bit of time after that, so we have a quotable, so we have it ready for the show. Cool.
I got you.
Okay.
Flipped.
Yeah, I'm.
In
The
the
one
package?
thing I might posit against this is that the Group Ascend teams, despite maybe their lack of strength, is just playing more games, and we saw that affected
Yeah.
a lot of our Group Nirvana teams last year. Just the lack of games, the lack of access to better scrim partners. Like, even if EDG are making a surge in the back half of the split, some of these games look terrible. Like,
Yeah.
Leave is getting caught out a ton still. I think that when ZDZ is playing good, this team looks good. When he is not, he is like very much invisible for this
Get
team.
my boy off Zahen, bro. Like.
Yeah, I mean, Zahen is just a bad champion, and that, I'll credit
Zahen sucks.
Jack for that one.
Agree.
I know. Jack was very early on. The Zahen champ is very fake. So I think unless we see better competition, I am tentative to say that Group Perseverance is probably not going to see very much success outside of maybe WE. Sure, Top Esports is weak. I cannot visualize a world where I see Leave beat Jatsi. Like, not on this team.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Leave has been. I mean, can we talk about like scrapped stuff we wanted to do for a pre-show on here? Because
Yeah, sure.
there
Lift
was
the curtain.
Yeah, so I had an EDG series that I did a little bit ago, and we wanted to do like a diagnosis piece on EDG, and a large centering around this diagnosis was going to be Leave getting caught out all the time, like literally, like it's like multiple times a game, and even when he didn't get caught out, he would like burn flash aggressively to look for a kill, and then he wouldn't get the kill. He'd be down flash for a fight that takes place in 2 minutes. Everyone would dogpile on him, and he would die before he was even able to click one button. So the mistakes I feel EDG are making are just like very much so like being over aggressive, and I wanted to highlight that. But I still think that this team like has good spots. Like, I think that Angel has picked it up a little bit. Like, one of my biggest complaints was that like Angel looked really good in Demacia Cup, and then we saw him in regular season, he looked really bad. And like, I think he's been doing better. So I think if mid jungle, at like particularly this top side, can look okay, like they can be a little bit more competitive. But yeah, Leave, I needed to diagnose that guy. We didn't end up going through with it because like I didn't have enough time, but I seriously needed to like investigate him in some way, shape, or form. Like I could have been a doctor, I could have been like a lawyer, I could have been anything. I could have even been like a janitor, but I chose doctor.
Okay, before we continue on, I know we talked a lot about the top half of this bracket. I feel like NIP is such a weird team for the crew to talk about. I feel like no one wants to really give them their flowers because they don't have a particularly like super flashy playstyle. They're going to be playing against LGD, who I want to remind everybody, they're the only team to take a game off of LNG in this group right now. That's not much. I really grasping for straws on this one, but
They did lose to OMG though.
yes, but Hai Chao was the GOAT that
You
series,
take the good
okay?
with the bad,
And
okay?
yeah. So what do we think about that? This is a potential series that could happen, but if this were to kind of drop into this way, what do we think about NIP's chances potentially, not in a main playoffs, but in this play-ins here, the Knights Road?
I mean, I personally think they 3-0 LGD. Like, I'm not
Really?
super... Well, like, again, I don't think I agree with Ulk that they're not, like, a super flashy team, but this team just looks really good in team fights. Like, it was one of the reasons why they usually look competitive in most games against WE is because they're able to 5v5 pretty effectively. And I just don't think that LGD can do that on the same level. So, like, in the 5v5s, and I also don't think their laners are good enough to, like, hands gap their opponents in the first 14 minutes to make it kind of a null point. So, like, if we're basing this off of the strengths of both teams, I feel like NIP's strength in the 5v5 is going to carry them through a pretty dominant win here. As for what could happen after that, I'm not sure they get much higher.
Afterwards, like they're probably facing off against, if I read this correctly, I don't know if they like reseed the bottom half lower bracket, so I don't want to get into too much trouble, but they're probably facing off against any combination of like Top Esports, Invictus Gaming, or like EDG, because we're pretty high on WE at this point. So like, imagine they do beat like one of these teams. Do we think they can even qualify? Do we think either of these teams actually qualify for the main bracket? I think it's the real one that I'm asking.
Like between
That's a
NIP
tough
and
one.
LGD?
Yeah, do we think that they make playoff, like at the real or main playoffs?
I
Jack,
mean,
do you wanna say it
even
for me?
well, no, but even if they, even if they do, like I'm kind of looking at this, the bracket here and thinking, okay, past the first matches, what are we looking at? So we're pretty solid on Thunder Talk probably being eliminated. That's like, you would have to give a real argument and a real case as to how that series
LNG
goes
just
awry.
shit themselves on the day, bro.
Yeah, they unplug their PCs or something. But
Yeah.
even if we go purely seed based and say IG win and then Top Esports win, it's WE versus LNG, right? For a qualifications match. That is super entertaining. And then
That's going to be a fun series.
LGD, EDG would be fun. NIP versus EDG would be really fun too. So if EDG lose, which is likely, I think either of these teams could, like, the fact that any of these three teams is going to group ascend and split 2 out of EDG, NIP, or LGD is crazy to think about. But that's the reality that we're looking at with how the Knights Road is set up. So I think it is very likely that one of those three teams does make it to playoffs. I think that if NIP is able to, like you were talking about, Quarks, like out team fight LGD, they did look pretty disconnected against OMG. They looked a bit disrespectful too. And then NIP, wins against EDG, which is also pretty possible. Then we are looking at a split 2 NIP in group ascend, which I agree, good practice, but that's
My mid
then you have to
laners,
play
bro.
against-
My mid laners are Knight, Cream, and Care, bro.
Yeah, what's that one meme with like the soldiers in the corner and then there's the clown in the middle?
Yeah,
That's
another
green.
one
That's
Yeah.
Cream.
against the wall.
Yeah, true. And then like the bug on his shoe is Care.
There's a lot of clowns if we're talking about mid laners currently in group ascend, but we don't have to get into that immediately. Let's kind of move off of this playoff bracket. We've got through this now. This is going to be a little bit more of a fun segment here. This was something that Jack ended up suggesting. We're going to look at one of the most infamous memes of LPL. This last week of games, we're going to check LPL gold graphs, and in this game, a bit of a game show here. Quacks, Jack, you both are going to be competing against each other to guess which series this was. So it's 1 point if you get it right. You get nothing if you get it wrong. And I will give you an additional point if you can guess which game it was.
All right.
All right,
let's
so
go.
we guess the series and then we guess the game. For
Yeah,
bonus
let's do
points.
series first, and then we'll cut through the rest. So
Okay.
let's pull up the very first one. I will give you a hint for all of these, and the only thing I will tell you is that this was a group Nirvana game.
Okay.
All right. Let me look at the schedule here.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I can't. Okay, no bonus points. I realized that the graphic shows you what game it is, so never mind.
Okay. So we're just
Oh.
guessing the series. This is the. I feel like this is the one I casted, which was. What was that one? That was. I feel like this was LGD OMG.
Okay.
I was
That's my
actually
guess.
Also going to guess LGD OMG.
Is this the final answer for you both?
I'll lock that in.
I feel like the way you said that makes. Okay, hang on.
There's been a lot. While Cox decides this, there's been Los Ratones have won 2 like that. The one the other
Yeah.
day was ridiculous.
How
T1 won against KT, then 13K and Soul.
Are these
What's happening?
the matches that we were talking about with like week 2 and 3, or is this like recent like stuff, or is this the whole?
This is
split?
last like.
This
is the
has
week.
been within
This
the
just
last
happened.
week, so anything from the 23rd to today.
Okay, hang on.
me check the schedule,
23rd
hang on.
today.
I'm pretty sure it's that game.
Say, you know what? It would be boring otherwise. I will say Ultra Prime versus LGD.
Okay. I guess before we show which game it is, this is how we do this. Gebetto, which one is it? Which game from your series do you
I
think
think
it is?
it's game 2. I'm pretty sure it's game 2.
Okay.
of OMG
Quacks,
LGD.
which game?
2.
Okay. All right, let's show this. Jack, you're correct. LGD versus OMG.
Not
Game
fair, I was
one.
on it.
Hey, look, that just means that you have a good memory. You remember
was
kind
game
of what
one,
the gold graph
okay.
would have looked like. So
I can't remember which one OMG won, like, that was an upset.
Yeah.
But I know that there was one. I also did say it first, so that's a little unfair. I'll let Quacks go first on this next one. I kind of sniped that too quickly.
If there was a weird cut, blame Quacks. We're now going to go to the second question here. The second gold graph, I should say.
Yeah.
Beautiful cube zoom from myself. All right, Quacks, you're going to be up here first. Which game
I know
or
this
which
one is
series
too.
is this from?
Are you allowed to tell me which group?
Yes, this is a group perseverance match.
I've been the Perseverance merchant, so if I can't get
should
this
know this
right,
then.
yes, I should.
God, these graphs.
Okay, so team kind of fell behind, and then at around 17 minutes, we just saw them go insane. They lost a bit of a team fight at one
They
point.
lost a huge team fight. They
They,
lost
like,
5,000 gold at 30
Yeah,
minutes.
they lost like 5,000 gold
They
in the
almost
span of
lost the
2 seconds.
game.
And then they they literally did lose the game. Okay. Okay. I feel like this has to be a WE game because this is just how they play.
Okay.
I am going to go with WE. There's 2 WE NIPs, so I'm going to be safe and say WE NIP.
Okay. All right, Jack.
I'm saying EDG NIP on the 28th.
Okay. Let's take
I
a
have no
look.
idea what game.
Oh, I guess, yeah. What game do you guys think?
I have no idea. I'll say game 1.
Yeah, okay, I'll say... I will say game... I don't know. Yeah, game 2. Hail
All right.
Mary.
Well, it doesn't matter because you both are wrong. This is TT versus WE. You were right.
It was a
but
W game.
yeah, it was a WE game.
Was that one?
Maybe not the series you were expecting.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't cover this one. Monkey on his Viego, I would have remembered that.
I thought this
So-
was another one because the graph looks very similar to one we might see, where it's just they're winning and then they lost in one fight in like 30 seconds. They lost the game,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I know what that one is.
All right. We've got another one here coming on up.
Oh my god!
These are some terrible
These are
gold
not
graphs.
normal, bro.
What
Okay,
is
Gentlemen?
happening?
so I take it with them being
Group?
Perseverance and Nirvana before this is Ascent?
This is also group perseverance.
Okay. So we already did TT versus WE. So surely this is...
If I just run back my answer from the last one, just say it's
Which was?
EDG NIP again.
Okay. All right.
EDG
all right.
NIP. Okay, statistically, it's supposed to, it should be NIPWE, so I'm going with the same exact answer. And if I'm wrong, I'm gonna be very
We're locking
sad.
in the same one
He
again.
shook his head. I'm wrong.
Okay, yeah, let's just show it at this point, guys. It's the first win of Thunder Talk of the season, taking a game off of
What
EDG
is-
in game number
Dude,
one.
What is
Thunder
Thunder
Talk
Talk doing?
like,
What are they doing?
Look at this gold craft, dude. They go
Yeah, I
up
see it.
3,000 gold,
Yup.
and then they lose another team fight. This was real tragic of a game.
Okay, I need to see how this happened though, because it's like magic. However you
Keshi
think
was
it's-
owning ZDZ. In lane.
Yeah, dude, Keshi has been so good. Like Keshi and Hera have been so good in the laning phase, but like after 10 minutes, they just don't know what to do. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they
They're-
figured it
they're
out in
rookies
this
from the
game.
LDL. So, all right, we got one more. And Quacks, you did kind of. Oh, I didn't do it.
Well,
All right. Well,
you got spoiled.
Yo,
I
it's
didn't-
JDG versus BLG, I think.
Yeah.
Do I get a
alright,
point?
alright.
Can I tie with
No,
Tibetto?
no. I messed up the animation on that, but we can.
I
we can
win. I
just
got
show
one
it.
right.
We got.
Oh.
God damn it.
Minus
We're,
one.
we're 1
Hell
point. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I deserve that.
This is
Yeah.
game one.
All right.
There was also one in game 2. I was waiting for the game 2. The game 2 one of these guys is Xiaoshu playing Mbessa, and he just smurfed the entire game until the
Yes.
very end of the game. They lost 2 team fights. One of them lost them the full game, and JDG, yeah, it was JDG. JDG were up the entire game, and the gold graph just goes like that at the end.
Yeah.
What is
No,
happening?
Beautiful.
At least I got
Great
second
job to me.
place.
Yeah, you did get second place. I'm really happy for you. That's like a whole participation medal.
Thank you.
Okay. Great job, guys.
I got the one I
am,
did, and I didn't get the perseverance ones.
Let's
go.
You're a group Nirvana merchant. That's just
Yeah.
how it goes. All right. Well, we can, I guess, now look towards the end of the week, kind of. This is going to be our slate of games going forward. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Give him -2.
Cube Zoom, no. Not give you -2. All right. This is a slate of games coming up. As you can see, February 6th is going to be the last set of games, and it might look a little weird that for 2 games we're starting at 11. There is going to be show matches happening directly afterwards. For what, I don't exactly know, but we're going to have some show matches. So we're going to be starting that day a little bit sooner than usual. But gentlemen, if there is one match, and you guys cannot pick the same one, so whoever comes up with this one first gets it, what is a series that you think fans at home should be tuning in for, must-watch television?
BLG versus AL.
Yeah. That's the one. I'll actually go with a different one. I want to see JDG AL again. I'm going to be riding this JDG team for a while. I think they're really fun. I love the way they play. It's very fast-paced and aggressive. And they make mistakes because of that. They overextend quite a lot. That's how they lost that BLG series we were just talking about. Not the series, that one game, the game 2. There are a lot of important matches. I mean, looking at Group Ascend, BLG Tess, JDG AL, like Croc said, AL, BLG. Some really important matches for seeding there.
Are we really saying BLG Top Esports is an important series?
For BLG, it is.
There's a pretty big chasm between like the upper echelon teams in Ascend and the lower ones. So like, to be fair, I guess like at least as far as,
guess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, guys.
I mean, if you can sneak like an upset, if you as like a top 3 Ascent team can sneak an upset against a bottom, or like if you as a bottom tier Ascent team can sneak an upset against a top tier Ascent team, then I think that does well for you for like, maybe even trying to get toward like that top 4 or something.
Shout out producer vote down the bottom there. I didn't read that. TTNIP twice.
True. It's TT Nip. I mean, who cannot love it? So
LGD OMG, that's the rematch. OMG won that one. That one might be a nice one to tune in. And then I guess EDG WE for Perseverance is going to be pretty nice. Again, WE have already locked in first seed, but that's an important series for EDG.
They locked in top 2. They locked in top 2. They're not locked for first place.
Okay.
Because
they're
4-1.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
They're guaranteed upper bracket.
Yeah. So WE, their last match is going up against EDG. EDG need to win this series if they want to be top 2, if we're talking about strength of schedule, because if you see NIP playing Thunder Talk twice, if they win both series, they're 4-2, and EDG end the group 3-3. You're now playing in the bottom half of the bracket, and you're going to be playing against group Nirvana teams. You're more than likely not going to be playing against LNG, so we're expecting that's why that half of the group isn't really locked up in Perseverance. But yeah, I think the games you guys chose are really good. JDG AL for obvious reasons. Those are kind of like the 2 that are. I know BLG, they lost their 2 series versus JDG, but outside of that, they've literally lost to no one else. So, and the
and
BLG
they've lost.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I want to see what this Weibo team can do, man. I think this Weibo team has they have some sauce. They just need to put it. A lot of times they're like getting it outside of the pot. They're not putting it anywhere near the dish. I need them to execute on a dish. Yeah,
Yep.
the plating is messy. The prep is terrible
But
sometimes.
it smells and tastes pretty good.
Most of the time, yeah.
Most
I
of
would
the time.
I would agree.
Most of the time, if my mid laner doesn't grief me.
True.
Yeah, I mean, I actually fully agree with Jack here on like EDG versus WE. If EDG, who have I said earlier been having like kind of like a rebound latter half of their winter split, like if they can do well against WE, then like I think my copium about them maybe being able to be competitive against top esports might have some more merit to it. But I think like depending on EDG's form on that day, like it could be like definitely going to 3 games. So.
Oh, okay. I want to do a correction real quick on myself. Even if EDG win this next series,
Yeah.
because of game record, they wouldn't be able to take first. However,
But
Yes.
can they lose second?
okay, WE, if actually real quick, producer, because we're in a PowerPoint, this might look a little funny. If we could skip all the way back to the standings real quick. Okay. Producer's going to figure that out. So, WE currently are +6. Even if this is their last series versus EDG coming up. Even if they go 3 games, they're only going to go down to +5. If they lose in 2 games, they're going to go to +4, and EDG are going to go to +3. You don't beat that. You're not going to beat the game differential there. But what could happen is that if WE, wait, let's see, because NIP beat WE and they're tied to they're 3-3 versus each other from the regular season from their 2 games. If WE loses this series in a 0-2 and Ninjas in Pajamas win all of their games from here on out, they would have a +5 game or they would have a +4 game record, and WE may not win that head to head.
So it's
Potential.
kind of contingent on how NIP does, basically.
Yeah, if NIP somehow lose a game to TT, then TT have done it. But there could be a world. EDG winning would also help NIP there. So NIP are really big Edward Gaming fans.
Until they play them, and then they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weibo's a good shout too. They've got a ton of games. I think I was counting tied with this the most games, 4 more series alongside AL to play. They also play on the last day against IG, I think it is. I'm on that game. That'll be a good
correct.
one too, because we're talking about the top 3 of Group SN, the bottom 3 as well. You don't want to be playing you want to be in playoffs in Group SN, guaranteed for next split. If you're going through the gauntlet. And they're best of 5s, right? So it's not like anything crazy is going to happen by accident, but you could just not show up on the day 2 days in a row and be out.
Mm-hmm.
But that is kind of stretching it. I'd much rather have the conversation of teams that actually can contest, whether that's an LNG or a WE or potentially some of the other group perseverance teams, but we'll have to see. I will say, though, you're asking me what series should fans watch? All of them. Watch all of them.
True. You should just ruin your schedule permanently. Grey Cube
Or just
transition
live in
happening on our
SEA.
Yeah, that is also true. All right. Last question that I will ask you guys before we move on forward. Gun to your head, we send 2 teams to first stand tonight. Who from group? I mean, it could be from any group, really. If we're talking about playoffs, immediately, who are the 2 teams we're sending? You don't have to
To
give me
first
why.
stand?
Just give me the teams.
I'll let Jack go first.
Oh, it's not Tess. It's definitely not.
Thank
Tess.
you.
That's the first one. It's probably not IG. Weibo. How do I feel about Weibo? I'm gonna think they're against LCK. It's gonna be Gen G. And it's probably T1 or Humble Life. Like maybe DK. They've looked okay. And it's one team from the LEC, one team from the LCS, one team from LCP. Haven't been watching a ton of LCP. LEC, like MCOY, Fnatic, G2's not looking amazing right now. KC's looking okay.
KC looks the best.
And then, yeah, KC has been looking the best. And then for the LCS, I would really like C9 to go. I think that would be cool. So then from the LPL, I think sending BLG is on paper the best idea in my opinion. They had a really bad international year last year, so having them get some redemption, make us as LPL fans feel a little better, and obviously the at-home LPL fans feel a little better. They did lose 2-0 to JDG, but maybe that's just a JDG kryptonite kind of thing. I don't know.
It's the Tabe prep, man. The Tabe prep got him.
Yeah. Well, maybe as an international, you take the Tabe team. AL have looked shaky, even though they are a really, really good team. World-class players. I'm going to let Bias take over, and I'll say BLG, JDG.
Okay. All right, Quacks. You had all of that time to think to yourself. Jack went through every single region.
Yep.
I did.
So now I feel like I'm going to be undercooked if I'm just saying who I want for the LPL, but I'll say for who I want for the LPL first. So first of all, I'm just going to put it out there right now. I think that Tabe's presence in an international just makes the event more interesting. Like, every single one of AL's games last year, like, I was very invested in, especially internationally, just because of what this guy was capable of cooking up if the series went the distance. Like, my most favorite series, even though it ended in heartbreak, last year was T1 versus AL. Like, that was my favorite series of the whole
Which one? Because you got one at MSI.
Finals, bro.
Yeah, true.
Best series of the entire year, in my opinion. It had it all. So, like, I feel like just because of that, and also because I am a huge fan of Junja, I am probably going to be sending JDG. Like, it's a little bit biased, but I also think that this team is legitimately really good. And then this is where I might have some people get mad at me. The same way Jack was biased toward, like, BLG in a way, or no, you were biased toward
JDG.
The same way you were biased toward JDG, I'm going to be fully biased toward AL. I really like these players. Like, Tarzan, I'm a jungler. Tarzan is, like, one of my favorite players of all time. He's like a step below Canyon, who's my all-time GOAT. I would love to just see him at an international again. So I'm gonna rock up with JDG AL. BLG are gonna barely miss out. Everyone's gonna be mad, and there you go.
That would be the very BLG thing to do. Just miss out on the international, like top 3,
dude.
and just
They
miss the
look good
cutoff.
too. Like, I feel like, dude, Knight, just every time I watch Knight play, I'm like, okay, I don't know how anyone can possibly stand up to this guy. Like, on planet Earth.
19-year-old kid rocks up.
Yeah.
Does just that.
Yeah, exactly.
You owned him.
Yeah, Honq kind of had his number
him.
in that series. That was insane. That was such a fun series.
Yeah.
Like, I really want JDG to make it for the Tabe effect, and because I believe in that team, and then I also want AL to make it because I can't help but like 4 out of 5 of their players a lot.
Okay, good. All right, so we have got AL, we've got not Top Esports, JDG, we've got BLG, and we got JD. So it seems like JDG might just be going first stand if we just take our casters at face value. Huh?
Please.
Who do I think?
Yeah, I need to hear the Alk take.
Yeah, Alk, what you got?
I think Jack is right. I think BLG, JDG are going to first stand.
I really like AL too. I want to say.
Yes, I think AL are great, but I think we are seeing the limitations of this team, and we saw it at Worlds, even with Tabe, that this team is clearly limited, even with some of the best players in their roles. Like, if we're talking about, you look at the weekly best players of the week from the last 2 weeks, well, it has varied a little bit. I think that AL have the best jungler in the league right now in Tarzan, and they have the best support in the league in Kael. But that has not, those 2 roles have not really made the team incredibly successful. Yes, last year they went to every single finals, or they went to 2 of the 3 finals. They won the Split 2 finals. They went to Demacia Cup finals. But we saw this team at the end of the year start to crumble. Even at MSI, they were very clearly limited into what they could do in best of 5s. And now that they don't have Tabe, the top end of this team, I think, is that like maybe 5% edge we might give them against other teams is just not there. While I have problems with how JDG function, especially with whether or not Vampire is actually going to be a positive contributing force to this team in any given game, if Junja is going to look like he has positive jungle direction early on, especially if Malphite's going to continue to be in the meta in the jungle, like, I don't think he's been that great. But Honkyu is now feeling more comfortable. Gala has been performing, and Xiaoxu is, I mean, early on right now, probably a top 3 top laner, arguably a top 2 top laner in the league right now. So I mean, who else are you putting there? Like if we're gonna really have this discussion, who else is in top 3? Because it's Xiaoxu, and then who else?
No, I was making a face at top 2. I think he's top.
I mean,
3.
then who's second?
I mean, I think it's
because Flandra's been running it down in
Saboro.
games, even when he's on tanks, and that was the big excuse of like, oh well, he's good on tanks, he's not great on carries. Even his Rek'Sai is not looking great.
Yeah, no.
Zika's only really a team fighter for the most part, and
I actually was gonna put Zika. Like, I actually think Zika's like not bad. Maybe I'm too high on him, but I don't know. I feel like comparatively, like Xiaoxu just doesn't impress me as much. I don't know. From the tape that I've watched, like I'm not super high on that train. But yeah, we'll have to see. Like again, this is a team I want to make international. So like people who are flaming me, and
whoa,
and saying, like,
Saboro top 3.
Dude, honestly, I want to see Saboro succeed. I'm with you on that. But I also have to call out Jack for something else he said earlier, which was the LCS representative is going to be C9. I hate you for saying it, but it's true.
It's
fucking hate you for saying it, but it's true.
APA's coming back. APA's coming back to first stand.
Dude, that team is so boring.
Dom's going back to Worlds, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, we're sending Dom to.
Gets out of his chair.
I mean, there's some other teams that like look good, but C9 is really the only team that looks great. Like, I would love to say, oh my God, FlyQuest are gonna make it, but like,
hey, this is not an LCS English podcast. Those guys they have the dive,
I know,
okay?
I know.
Them guys pull more viewership
Go
than
watch
us,
the
okay?
dive.
Right now,
Go watch the dive. I get it.
Go watch the dive. Go watch their stuff. That is going to be it for us here on the podcast tonight. Again, thank you to Quacks and Jay Beto for joining us tonight. And gentlemen, for the upcoming couple of days, where can people find you? This is your time to plug. This is your time to step in.
Quacks, you go first.
Yeah, sure. So I'm, you know, at least for the LPL English broadcast, I am going to be on tonight as we record this, so the 28th, but by the time it's uploaded, you won't be able to see that, so never mind. And then I am also going to be on the 2nd of February, I believe. So catch me there. I'm really excited for that. And then after that, I will be on with I'll be on the 4th. So next week you'll see a couple shows that I'll be doing. And I'm excited to run those because it's been a really fun split so far.
This is also not just for LPL. If you guys have like other shows that you're on, this is a great way to plug you guys in.
I'm doing Division 1. If you're interested in collegiate League of Legends
American
in North
collegiate
America,
games.
yeah,
Ooh.
you can find Ulk there too.
True. Jack?
Well, I'll be on the LPL. Got a couple of days, and the last day I'm doing the IGWE series, I think, and then
Ooh.
I do not cast any other NA. I'm not on Division 1, but I'll be around for the LPL. You can probably find me tweeting about First Stand, hyping up JDG.
Same.
I will be huffing that copium until JDG lose at Worlds. Let's go. Jayo.
There we go. All right. Again, thank you guys for joining us. Still, if you have any suggestions, whether it's for segments we potentially could run on the show or even just a title for this podcast, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for joining and watching. Keep tuning in every single day for some more LPL English.